Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to look at what is the balanced market. What do you need to know about the balanced real estate market? Okay, so let's dive right into the information. Welcome back everyone. My name is Longley, and on top of the real estate data that we are going to talk about today, I am also going to give you some first look of the balanced market in real estate in Phoenix area. So now let me share with you a couple information here, couple screen before we talk about the balance markets. So as you see right here, this is price reduction chart. This has been happening for the last couple months since March of 2022. Okay, since March of 2022, as you see here at the bottom right here, about 493 transactions that actually have a price change, a price reduction. Now, keep in mind, this is the active listing that has a price reduction. Okay, so when you see like 4172, very high number right here at the has a price reduction, it doesn't mean that the 4,000 listing that sold under asking, but this is just the asking and they get reduced. Now, one topic that you see that from March until now is an increase of 746%. 746% listings that has price reduction. So a lot of people, a lot of you see price reduction on the internet, all over the internet, right? So that is what happening right now. The asking price from the seller, the expectation of the seller has to reduce to be able to confirm, to be able to match with the expectation of the current market. Okay, so this is the asking, and as you can see here on the middle of the table of the chart here, we see the different on average, right? Not every single price range gonna reduce at the same amount. But on median, on the average of everything is going to be $13,000. But if you are looking for a home that is more than 2 million, then you're expecting to see on average about $100,000 price reduction, right? Now that is number one. Number two, as you see here, this is concession. This is the new trend. This is happening a lot because you know what? Not only the price is too high, but also the interest rate is higher. So a lot of buyers expecting to have the seller concession, right? So that it helps with the credit, with the interest rate. We see a lot of in July. This is the newest number in July 2022. It's I'm sorry. In August of 2022, is 9.6% increase. Okay, that is the percentage of out of how many closing that we have. About 9.6% of those closing giving out the seller concession. That is not very common. As you see here in around 2021, starting from May of 2021 to all the way May of 2022, which is only about 3% and 4%. Okay, now we have a lot, almost double the number of percentage that the seller is willing to give up the seller concession. Okay, now the next chart, this is critical because to show you where the balanced market is and where the buyer's market are. Okay, as you know from previous video that I have, the buyer's market right now is Surprise, Tempe, Gilbert, Maricopa, Green Creek, and Buckeye. Those are the cities that has a lot of new builds activities, and therefore they have a higher number of supplies on the market right now, right, compared to other markets. The cities that in the balanced market is Avondale, Phoenix, Mesa, Glendale, Peoria, and Chandler, which is more toward the center of Phoenix, right? Those are the cities that well developed and do not have a lot of new build community in the area. Now, when I said about the balanced market, that means the buyers and the seller has equally power in terms of negotiation. There's some houses the buyers are going to have more power in terms of negotiation if it is too bad, if it is on the market forever, right? But in some houses, if the house is nice in a very good location, a lot of people are still attracted to that house as well. For the top seller markets, we have Fountain Hills, Paradise Valley, Scottsdale, and Cave Creek. Goodyear is kind of on right there at the border. Now this is as of August 11, so I'm expecting this chart already changed. Maybe Goodyear already in the balance market. So you see that overall in the Phoenix market right here, there are about seven cities that in the balance market and other 6 cities that in the buyer's market. The balance market is a market. It is not the first time it appears on the market, right? Back in 2014. We're going to see next chart right here. What do you call by a balanced market? And this is by the comfort market index here. About 90 to 110 is the balanced market. And back in 2014, as you see here, it's almost a flat line, right? So that's what we are comparing against to, because 2014 is almost a flat line along within 90 to 110. In other year, the seller has a little bit more advantage in terms of negotiation compared to 2014. So 2014 is kind of the a baseline for everything. Now, if we're looking at the 2022 chart, okay, 2022 chart, you see that the beginning is still a very high seller market, and now toward February is the kind of highest, and March is decreased a little bit. Now this is the week 13. Okay, this is the week 13 right here, and it start dropping very a lot. We have to admit this is the big drop. Okay, now some of you say the drop here is the seasonal. No, seasonal is more like this 2021 right here, where it is a downtrend, but it's not that much. Okay, now this is a big drop. We have to admit that. But now, as you see here, the curve toward the end of the curve is kind of lift up. It's kind of lift up. So we can see that it has some kind of resistance for the curve to go even further down, less than 2014 line. And we can see that. So as such, we can see we are here right here in August, and we are officially for the median of every cities. We are officially in the balanced market in Phoenix area. Okay, in which the buyers and the seller has more equally negotiation power. Now, if you're looking at the active listing and the under contract listing, you're gonna see the same. Resistance that I was talking about. As you see here, this is a new active listing weekly, and as you see here at the end of the curve, it is no longer as high as a couple of weeks ago, right? You see that there's maybe a curve down. There's maybe a curve down situation right here. So it's potentially reaching the highest very soon, and it's gonna curve down. In the under contract side, you see after the couple of weeks that has the drop number of under contract. Now for the last 2 weeks, it's going higher. For the last 2 weeks, it's going higher. So more buyers are coming back to the market, as well as less sellers putting their home on the market right now, which confirms the theory that I was talking about earlier in the previous week, couple of weeks ago, is that the seller is not in rush to sell. Right? They sell whenever they need to. They sell because of some unique situation in their family, not because they have to, not because they must. Okay, so those are the active and under contract. For the number of new listings, so this is also interesting because for the last couple of weeks toward like April and May, yeah, we talk about there's a lot more new listing on the market, but recently, as you see here, there's a big drop also. There's a drop number of new listing as well. So there's not a lot of new listing coming onto the market neither. Cancel listing, however, also drop, right? So as you see, this is 5 months ago here, and we start seeing a lot of cancel listing. The blue line, only focus on the blue line, because the buyers are afraid of the markets and the interest rate going higher, they no longer qualify. But the trend is going up here. But now for the last 3 weeks, we start seeing the weakness of the strength here, and is going to go down. Okay. So everything confirmed that we are actually probably not gonna see a lot of price reduction. Oh, one more chart that I want to show you is that this is the contract ratio. This is the ratio between the number of under contract listing but has not been sold yet, right? It's still in the process of finishing the loan application over the active listing. So as the week 33, we see that the under contract is about 7,900, and the active listing is about 17,000. So the contract ratio is about 45, which is here. So a couple of things to notice: 45 is actually higher than the previous week of July 31st, right? So we see an increase. So when the contract ratio increases, that means the demand is actually a little bit better than the listing, the active listing on the market, right? Now, this is not the first time that we see it, right? Now, when you look at the most current as of today, when I look at the MLS data, there's about 8,700 active under contract listing, and there's about 19,000 active listing on the market. So the contract ratio is actually 46. So it's going up. So there's more and more. So we are right now in the warm zone of the contract ratio chart, and it is going up. That means that the market seems like there is a resistance in terms of going further down. So those of you who are looking for a house, perhaps you have to be quickly because your negotiation power may go down a little bit because number of demand is actually going higher and there's less number of new listing on the market, right? So those of you who want to take advantage of the super high buyer market, the time for you to act is now. And don't worry about instead of waiting, right? Instead of waiting, because you may lose more negotiation power later on, because moving from the buyer market to the balanced market is you have less power as a buyer. For the seller, I think what you have been doing is great, right? What you've been doing about giving the concession, giving the concession, reducing the price helps a lot for the market right now. That is what we have to realize. The sellers, you have to realize that it is not as hot as 4 or 5 years ago, or 4 or 5 months ago anymore. You have to be very reasonable in terms of pricing, and price it very competitively to other active listing, as well as do not use the comps that sold within the last 2 or 3 months, right? Within the last 3 months, because those are the completely market, right? So those are the highlight for the information that I'm giving today. The last chart that I'm gonna present to you is actually this chart right here, in terms of appreciation for the seller. Okay, now this is critical because I want to talk about this, because some of the information saying that the market is going down. In fact, it is not going down. Well, let me rephrase that. It goes down, but it's not as bad for a lot of sellers. This chart represents from May 2021, right? The average sale price per square feet is 250. Now moving to May 2022, that's 306 per square feet. That is an increase of 21% appreciation. That is an appreciation of 21.9%. Now from June, do the same, right? From June to June, it's about 30. Right? Yeah, it's about this is not a really good chart, but it's about 20. I would say, yeah, 20% appreciation. From July to July, it's about 14.9 appreciation, right? It's really down in July, but in August, you see it's actually an increase of 17.3%. So when you say the market goes down, yes, it actually goes down from May to August to this point, right? Instead of getting 306 per square foot, you only get about 293 per square foot. So you get less than what you expected. But if you bought a house last year, May, June, July, August, you still have a lot of appreciation within in the period of a year. And as you see here, not only the sale prices start getting higher, but also the seller is kind of more nowadays, more and more seller realize that they have to be more reasonable in terms of sale price, in terms of offering the seller concession, and therefore this house still sold very quickly. And I encourage you to look at that as well if you want to get your home sold in a time frame that you want to. Okay. So for the buyers, don't be afraid of buying a house. I will always saying that yes, the market go down. A lot of people worry about that, but the market gonna go up again. So if you find a home that fits your need, if you find a home that could potentially make you pay less every month, perhaps that is the right choice for you. Perhaps that is the right house for you to choose from. So that is my advice for the seller and buyer in this balanced market. And for, I think right now, because of the comfort market index indicates that we are in the balanced market. So the buyers, both the buyers and the seller, this is the best time to negotiate between the two, right? This is at the end of the day, coming to the end is that rely on the negotiation skills of the buyer's agent and the listing agents to bring you the best benefit, to bring you the best financial condition for you as well. All right. So thank you everyone so much. If you have any other questions to talk about in today's market, feel free to give me a call. My cell phone number 602-515-2442. Thank you. Bye.